fellow gamers? Welcome to a general Population 1 tutorial video that hopefully will teach you some of the basics. This is trash! It's been a long year, guys. I made my first Population 1 video in November of 2020. It was a beginner level tutorial that walked through a solo queue game and explained some of the mechanics, and the whole point of the video was just to help new players understand the game a bit better. I then made a more advanced tutorial explaining some of the more intricate things about the game and a couple of the tricks I've learned along the way. And I can successfully say that after all this time, guys, we finally did it. Since then, I have made a ton of different types of videos, from sick music montages to videos reviewing other games like Zenith and Veil, and you guys seem to love all of these videos equally. Wrong. Apparently, you guys just like watching my tutorial videos on repeat. However, since making the tutorials, there have been a lot of changes to the game that I haven't covered. I feel like with everything I've learned since then, I can do a much better job if I took the time to make them again now, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Welcome to my remastered beginner tutorial. This particular video will be covering the mechanics of a battle royale in VR, as well as navigating the settings and menus in the lobby, as well as in-game. This video will be starting from the very basics, so if you already know what a battle royale is, go ahead and skip to the timestamp at the bottom of the screen now. Population 1 is a VR battle royale game made by a company called Large Square. What does battle royale mean? A battle royale game is a type of game where you join a team,
nice,
get dropped into a map with a bunch of other teams, and see which team is the last team alive.
There you go.
That's right. Where other games are generally one team versus one team, a battle royale is every team for themselves. Because of this, you're going to need to be very aware at all times when playing the game to make sure you don't get shot in the back when fighting one of the other teams. This also means that you can technically win a game by letting everybody else kill each other off and then just finishing off the final team. Which one you do and how aggressive you play will come down to personal preference, so play around with a couple different types and see what works best for you. As of making this video, Population 1's standard squad mode consists of 8 teams of 3 for a total of 24 players. That means in a full game there are 21 other people who want you dead. Do not go into these games expecting to win every single one of them. If everybody in the lobby is the exact same skill level, you should only be winning 1 in 8 times because there are 8 teams. It is very important for battle royale games to make sure that while you do want to win, you are not expecting to win every time. In Population 1, when you drop into the map, you are only going to start with a knife. You're going to have to look around the map and scavenge for weapons and gear to try to help you survive. The gear scattered around the map consists of weapons, ammo, shields, health, and grenades. As you play more and more, you will figure out which weapons work for you. Different people like different playstyles and will therefore gravitate to different guns. Play around with a lot of the options to see what works best for you. So when the game loads, you'll get your standard, typical video game loading screen, but VR does something a little bit different than pancake games. So for Population 1, you'll come to this screen. Now this is one of the most important non-gameplay screens that you will use in this game. This screen allows you to set your player height for when you're playing the game. What that means is if you are sitting down or you plan to be sitting down when you play this game, you want to complete this screen while sitting down. You plan to play the game standing up, you want to complete this while standing up. This basically sets where your head height is for your character in the game. If this isn't correct, it will be not only a little bit of a headache for you, but it could even be super confusing if your character isn't actually running because the game thinks you're crouching. If you do mess up this setting while loading the game, or you go from a standing position to sitting, or vice versa, you do have the ability to open your settings after the game is launched to change this. You do not need to restart your game to reset your height. Just need to open your settings and click on the set height option, which I will show a little bit farther in the video. Now, the very first time you start the game, it will load you straight into the tutorial. If this is one of your first VR experiences, make sure you select the high or medium comfort, as full immersion could give you a headache or even make you feel a little bit sick. It'll then ask which hand is your primary hand. You can always change these settings later as well, guys, and then it will load you straight into the tutorial. Now, I definitely recommend 100% that you do play the tutorial, even if you are familiar with gaming. One of the main reasons for that is it actually displays directly on the controller which button you need to be pressing and what you need to be doing, as well as a little bit farther into the tutorial, it actually explains some of the more intricate things like how to load specific guns, how to peel bananas, how to use the defibrillators, and things along that line. At the end of the tutorial, the last thing you will learn is how to build walls to be able to use as cover, as well as how to build floors where you can make actual areas you can walk on. And then it will load you into your first match. Now, the first match that it loads you into will be a bot match. You are going to be alone. And this bot match basically helps you take everything you learned in the tutorial and actually apply it to gameplay. Now, I 100% recommend playing through the bot match. In this video, I'll go ahead and show some gameplay and talk over just a lot of the very basics and then go into the settings for you. At the start of every game, you're going to start on this platform, and there's going to be a bunch of pods at the front of the platform. In the bot match, there's only going to be one. You can either decide to hop in the pod and let it kind of fly you across the map, or you can decide to just jump off the ledge to hot drop and get some quick action in the game. The safer option here is definitely to take the pod and try to kind of coordinate and attack with your team, but if your team is all on board to jump off, then you're definitely welcome to do whatever you plan there. I definitely recommend at least coordinating with your team what you plan to do. So in this instance, for the sake of the video, I go ahead and hop in the pod. When you walk into the pod, you do need to press the little launch button on the tablet there, and you'll go into the air. On the right hand side of the pod, there is a lever where if you pull, it will drop your pod out of the sky. While it's dropping, you can put your arms out to be able to fly around and to jump early, or you can just ride the pod all the way to the ground. It won't hurt you if you do that, and it is a bit safer since you can't actually shoot through the pod. Because Population 1 is a Battle Royale game, when you land in the map, you're only going to have a knife in your inventory. You're going to have to run around and look for items to help you be able to defeat enemies. When you do find a weapon, it will have a corresponding ammo box next to it, and there should be another one nearby. There are particular ammo types depending on the type of gun you find. Yellow is for assault weapons, SMGs are orange, pistols are blue, snipers are red, and shotguns are purple. Make sure you know which type of ammo you need based on what gun you're picking up. Every time you pick up a weapon in Population 1, it will always start unloaded. Make sure you load your gun before you try to shoot at anybody, or you're going to have a bad time. From here, I'm going to go ahead and go into the settings menu and go one by one through everything in the settings menu. First thing is the exit to lobby, which will let you exit back to the waiting room. The second thing is the set height option, which allows you to reset your height. This is the same thing that happens when the game loads. As you can see here, I'm crouching and I set it. And after you set it when you're crouching, if you stand up, it'll actually recalibrate and kind of push your head down. But if you do plan on playing this game sitting down, make sure you set it at that height. Now going into the deeper settings menu, we're going to go ahead and start off with locomotion. At the top, you'll see the preset. If you do want to play it at a higher comfort level, you can go ahead and select one of the more comfortable option, either the high comfort or the medium comfort. The full immersion, again, is not recommended for people who haven't played VR very much. The next setting down is the comfort vignette, which is actually the setting that controls whether or not your screen narrows when you're moving fast or when you're flying. Putting the comfort vignette at a higher value will make it so your screen narrows when you're moving fast or when you're walking. As you can see in the video here, it kind of goes to like a telescope or a circular pattern. This can be a little confusing for new players, but it actually helps with the motion sickness. If you're not feeling very motion sick, you can start to turn this setting off. I would recommend at least playing with it to see what works for you. And I'm going to go ahead and take a step back here and quickly go into the HUD just so you guys know what you're looking at your screen. So at the bottom center of your screen, you're going to see a couple of different things and a couple of color-coded items. The green is your health and has a little plus next to it. The blue is how much shields you have. This does not regenerate over time in the standard squads mode. You will need to find blue shield batteries or blue shield sodas to be able to regenerate it. There is also now a shield shaker, so look for anything blue to help you regenerate your shields. Having full shields before you go into a fight will be very good at keeping you alive. Above the blue shield bar is the zone shrinking notification. It'll let you know if the zone is currently shrinking or if it's about to. Above that is going to be the kind of display for the kill feed, so it'll let you know if anybody in the lobby gets a kill. If one of your teammates gets a kill, there will be a blue name that shows up there, as you can see here, and it will tell you right there what gun that person was killed with. So you can kind of keep an eye on that to try to figure out what you might need to be aware of. To the right of the health and the shield is how many resources or materials you have. So you do need actual resources to be able to build walls. If this does say 0, you can't actually build anything. So keep an eye on that so you can actually build cover when you're out having fights. And the last thing, which is something that not a lot of people actually even notice exists, is the compass. So at the bottom under the health bar is a compass that'll let you know which direction you are facing. If there are enemies on the map, you can quickly figure out which direction they are and let your team know so they can react accordingly. When you are playing normally, if you press the trigger on your offhand, so the hand that is not holding the gun, you will be able to pull up the map. The map has all sorts of information, including where the zone currently is, displayed by the red square, where the zone will be shrinking to, displayed by the white square, your team on the left side. This will show a lot more players if you're in the lobby, so you can kind of keep an eye on who's in your game if you want. At the top, it'll let you know how many allies are alive and how many enemies still remain in the game. And at the upper right there is the report menu. So if someone's harassing or if any bullying or anything else happens, you can actually open that menu, find the player's name, and use that to report them. Now on the map itself, you can see all of the names of all of the regions. And where you are currently located will be a blue circle, so you can keep an eye out for there. Your teammates will appear as blue circles as well, and you can kind of coordinate where to go. If you see a green square or a green box, that is a supply package. Those will drop out of the sky periodically, and they will always carry gold guns. So keep an eye on that. If you go to those supply packages, you can find some good guns. And that just about does it for the HUD and map, so I'll go ahead and get back into the settings for you. Back into the locomotion option, it has a dominant hand option, which will choose whether or not the gun is in your left or right hand. Now, once you select on this option, you'll actually see another set of options appears, which actually lets you say if you want to switch which hand the gun is in, or if you want to switch which hand controls where you move. If you're playing left-handed, you might get confused because you still want to use your left hand to move. All you have to do there is hit the swap gun option to be able to fix that. Again, this option only pops up when you actually hit the dominant hand to left-handed, so just remember that. Below that is the forward motion option. So if this is set to hand relative, based on which direction your hands are pointing, as you can see in this clip here, will be which direction you move. So I'm just holding forward and I'm moving the directions of my hand, and as you can see, I'm switching directions. If you swap this to head relative, then holding forward will always make you go the direction your head is looking. I like to keep mine on head relative just so in tight gunfights I don't get turned around on accident when my hands are looking a different direction or firing a different direction. And the last option that we have on the locomotion screen is the turning style. So you can use snap or smooth turn for this primarily. Snap turn will make it so that if you press your joystick left or right, it will snap to that position at a specific angle, as you can see here. If you put it on smooth turn, it will make it so that while you are turning, that you will turn at a smooth, consistent speed. Now, believe it or not, putting this setting on and using snap turn can actually help with motion sickness a lot. So I definitely recommend using that. You'll also see another option there that says ease in. A lot of people leave this on if they're experiencing motion sickness. What this does is it makes it so you don't start turning at the full speed when it's on. So if you're using smooth turn, it's kind of like a gradual acceleration to max speed instead of just starting at max speed. At the very bottom, you will see the degrees per second. This is how fast you turn while you have smooth turn on. Again, I definitely recommend playing with all of these settings personally to figure out which ones work for you. Everybody is different, so as you play more and more, you'll figure out which settings you like and which ones you might want to change up a little bit. Moving down to the weapon settings here, you'll see a couple of presets, as well as motion dampening and offhand influence. So the default presets at the top here generally are pretty good to start out with, but I'll go ahead and explain what each of these settings does, just so you guys are aware. Motion dampening does exactly what it says it does. It tries to dampen the motion of your aiming. So what that means is if you have super shaky hands, or if you're trying to use a sniper and trying to aim at something really far away and find that you can't do it because your hands are a little shaky, turning this setting to a higher value will actually help steady your aim. Now take into account here that you're probably not going to notice motion dampening or offhand influence at all unless you're holding your weapons with two hands. All of the weapons in Population 1 can be shot with one hand except for the Ops Sniper Rifle, which still can be shot with one hand, it just won't be accurate at all. I'll go ahead and show a clip here of what will happen with the Op if you try to shoot it with one hand. Now, a lot of these options in this menu will only pertain to your weapons when you are holding them with two hands. Offhand influence controls how much weight your offhand has as opposed to your trigger hand. So if you want this to be more like real life or more like a real gun, you need to make sure your offhand is at a higher value so it weighs both hands equally. Take into account that while shooting guns with two hands will increase your accuracy and will be more accurate to real life, there are a lot of instances where you can do things like grab a wall with one hand, barely peek your head over, and shoot with your other hand. Population 1 isn't like real life in the sense that there's no actual recoil to worry about on the back of your shoulder, so you can do things like this as well as fly through the air and shoot one-handed. The next option in the settings menu is the grip toggle button, which basically means you just need to press the grip button once to hold onto your gun and then press it once again to let go. It will stay held on until you press it again. I've noticed that if your offhand influence is at 100, it will hold on to the gun no matter which direction you turn it. The reason you turn this on or off is if you want to actually hold your grip button down like you're holding the gun, or if you just want to be able to press the button and then forget about it. The last setting in the weapons menu is the reticle color. So what this will do is it will change the color of the sights on certain guns such as the AK, the Magnum, the CX4, and in guns like the MP5 and the MK, the hollow sight, it will change the color of the little circle in the hollow sight. I prefer green here just because it's easier to stand out against other colors in my opinion, but honestly this one doesn't matter too much. This one's mostly just going to be personal preference. And then the last menu that we have here, the general settings menu, we have the ability to change the language of the game, the graphics quality, your microphone and headset output, as well as a lot of volume options for the game. Now here you can also enable or disable blood, as well as change to team chat only so you're only able to hear the people on your team when you're in the lobby. And that covers it for all of the weapons and system settings in the game. Now you can go ahead and finish this bot game, and after you finish it, it'll ask you if you want to play another one or if you want to just hop into the main lobby, which I'll go ahead and show you guys the main lobby now to be able to explain everything that you'll see when you're there. If you have already played the tutorial, then this will be the main screen that you boot into every single time you set your player height after loading the game. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over everything you're going to see in the main lobby as of right now, just so you guys don't get confused with any of the settings or any of the stores or currencies. Starting on the right side here, you're going to see your friends list, your name and level, and above that you're going to see the two main currencies for the game. So you're going to see a gold coin that has a tower in the middle of it. That is the Bureau Gold, which is purchased with actual real money. And to the right of that, you're going to see the Seeker Silver, which is a silver circle that has basically an Illuminati symbol in the center of it. To the right of your Seeker Silver is your settings cogwheel, which you can click on to open the settings, which I'm going to get into a little bit later in the video. Moving down below that, you'll have your name and level, and then below that is your friends list. Now your friends will have two symbols next to their name if you haven't logged in a while. The symbol on the left allows you to receive Seeker Silver, and the symbol on the right allows you to send Seeker Silver. This does not cost anything, you just have to be logged in and you can scroll down your list and send silver to people. The symbol on the bottom right of your friends list is the New Friend or Add Friend button. Clicking on it will allow you to enter a friend code, and it will display your personal friend code there as well. When you click on that enter code, a keyboard will pop up that allows you to put in your friend's code, and after you add them, it will send them a request. They do have to accept the request on their end before they will show up on your list. Moving right to left now, at the bottom we have the shop menu. Clicking on this will display the shop and all of the current deals going on in the shop. Everything displayed on the main page here does need to be purchased with Bureau Gold. Moving down the list on the left, we have the Seeker Silver, which will show you what you can spend your Seeker Silver on. As I said earlier, the Seeker Silver does not actually cost anything, but you can only receive up to 25 a day. You can use the Seeker Silver to buy sprays, calling cards, as well as titles for your character. Now this is displayed when someone clicks on your name in the friends list, and it is also displayed if you kill someone. It's what they see on their screen hovering above. Moving down the list now, the next icon is the Bureau Gold, which you can click on and spend actual money if you want to get Bureau Gold to be able to purchase some of the in-game items, as well as coupons at the bottom there. If there are any coupon deals going on, you can put in the coupon to get whatever the coupon would give you at that time. Back to the bottom of the screen here, we're now going to click on the loadout option, which to start will take you to the character screen where you can select which character you want to use. You can scroll this screen right or left to see all of the characters that you unlocked. Anything you buy from the store or recently unlock will be on the farthest right. Moving down the list, next we have the weapons option, which allows you to select whichever weapon skin you want for that particular weapon in the game. You click on a different one to change it. You can actually see the weapon in your hand and in front of you there. The go back button is in the bottom left here if you want to go to the previous screen. The next option are the calling cards and titles, which, as I said before, are what people see when they click on you on the friends list, and also what enemies see when you kill them and what hovers above you. The last item here is the sprays, where you can actually tag walls inside the game and kind of leave your mark on the area. Back at the bottom, moving over to the Home tab now. The Home tab is kind of like your general statistics tab as well as news. At the top, you're going to be able to view your level, how close you are to the next level or skin unlock. The leaderboard itself, which you can view by friends, my rank, and top 25. Now you can sort this by wins and kills, and this is a weekly leaderboard which resets every Sunday. For me, it resets at 6 p.m. and I live in the Mountain Time Zone, so that'll be 8 p.m. Eastern. Next on the list is the stats, which will show you your total games, your total wins, your average kills and damage per game, as well as your average loot. At the bottom, you will see your overall win rate. Now notice there is a season stats and a normal stats. The normal stats combines all of your games, and the season stats will only report the games for that season. The last option at the bottom there is the About, which basically just describes the TOS in the privacy policy. Moving over now to the Battle Pass at the bottom. The Battle Pass allows you to see which tier of the Battle Pass you are on. It allows you to buy tiers for the Battle Pass. What the Battle Pass is it's just skins for that season. So this season, Season 2 is a Western season. A lot of the skins, calling cards, and titles are just going to be based on that Western theme. Now the Battle Pass does need to be purchased initially to be able to earn all of the rewards, but it does have a lot of free rewards in it by default. You can scroll left or right here to see if you actually want the Battle Pass and to see what rewards are available. You might not even want it based on what it has in it. The last tab at the bottom is the Play tab. This is probably going to be the one that you guys are in the most. This allows you to ready up for a game. It allows you to change the game mode, so you can actually click on the squads there, change it from squads to bots. Sometimes there's rotating game modes that you can select here. You can do the combat trial and redo the tutorial as well. On the left hand side, there is an option to invite people. If you click on that, it'll pull up your friends list. And there is also another option for the private room there where you can select or create a room. I do have another video completely about private lobbies and all of the customization coming to those in the future, which I will put in the card at the top of the screen now. The last thing we have in the lobby are the challenges, which consist of the daily and weekly challenges. Completing these challenges provides SP, which allows you to level up your Battle Pass rewards. Thank you everyone for watching my video today. I hope that if you are a new player, that this video helps you grasp the basics a little bit more and gets you ready to drop in. If you are a more seasoned player, I hope that this video is at least able to help you understand some of the deeper settings like motion dampening, which can be a little tricky to understand at first, especially if you don't have a ton of time to put aside for the game. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll try to respond and help you out however I can. If you want to see more Population 1 content in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button as it helps out my channel a ton and will notify you when I come out with a new montage or tutorial. And with that, I wish you all the best of luck out there on the battlefield.